Hello and welcome. My name is TyrionLanstr. Folks, I'm really excited. I've been waiting all week to finally talk about this. It's time to discuss the newest big major addition, the red badges. So where you can find these is if you go to pretty much any of your badges and you hit dismantle or craft, you go all the way here to the right, you'll notice that there is a new special red badge. It's ancient quality. It's a really, to me, a huge change because it's going to bring back the importance of getting higher level badges. I think this is an exciting change. It means for a lot of people that already had their 8 gold badges done, this is another reason to want to get more. It's definitely going to make things like the individual troop gold health badges that you get from the Iron Bank a lot more valuable because now you're going to need that many more of them so you can basically craft all of them. But I want to take this as a chance to kind of discuss something that they did with these ancient badges, which is they really kind of modified what the buff is depending on what the type of troop type, or depending on what the attack versus health versus defense is. And what I mean by that is that right now, let's look at something like spears. So as you can see, I've got the spear health badge right now, and this gives 25% spear health. If I were to look at the spear attack, I get 25% spear attack. And if I look at spear defense, I get 25% spear defense. It's uniform across. Similarly, if I look at total stats, I'm just going to choose the blue ones just because they're easier and more accessible right here. But if I took blue total attack, I get 4.5% for total attack, 4.5% for total health, and 4.5% for total defense. It's uniform across all three, not changing. But let's take a look at what happens if we do the red versions. So if we go to total health, for spearman health, again, it was 25%, but the red badge version is going to be 50%, so it's doubling. And this is pretty standard. You look at the gray to green, we're going from 2 to 3.75, almost doubling. 3.75 to 7.5 is a straight 2 times double. And then 7.5 to 15 is another double. 15 to 25, a little bit less. So this red upgrade is going to be another straight double of the former gold. 25 to 50, you're getting twice as much. Makes some sense. But if we look at spear attack, we're getting something different. Remember that for health, it was 25 to 40 to 50, but now this is 25 to 45, so slightly less. And the ancient attack is going to be only 45 versus 50. Similarly, we see something similar when we look at the total attack. This goes from 15 at gold to when we're at red, we get 38%. 38% is a little bit more than 2 times, right? 15 to 30 would have been 2 times. This is 15 to 38. And then similarly, if we look at the total health or total defense, it's the same thing. If I look at this one, I'm going to 42% from 15. So an even bigger increase. Just to break all of this down, I went ahead and made a note for us, and I have down all the different badges and what the upgrade looks like. So for total attack, you've got 15 to 38%, that's a 2.5 times increase. For total health and defense, it's 15 to 42, that's a 2.8 times increase. For individual attacks, it's 25 to 45, which is 1.8 times. Individual health and defense is 25 to 50, so 2 times increase. So as you can see, the total badges, those are going to actually give you a much bigger increase on that red upgrade than the individual ones. And I honestly think this makes a lot of sense because they want to encourage people to get the total attack badges, total health badges, total defense. Like those are supposed to be really important and impactful. And if this upgrade increased everything uniformly, it wouldn't be a very big buff to those total stat badges. They wanted to give an even bigger increase for those. I also just went ahead and threw in here the fortification, attack, defense, and wall defense. I hope no one is using them, and please do not upgrade them to ancient. I feel like that'd probably be a waste of the ancient dust, which I'll talk about next. But technically, these are what the upgrades are. As you can see, they're pretty much in lockstep with the individual troops, just for attack and defense. And then the wall defense, they're just doing a double, which is not shocking. But as I just alluded to, there is this other aspect of this, the ancient dust. This is some sort of badge material that I assume we will be getting in some of the future events. It doesn't seem to me like there's any way to get it right now, so you cannot get ancient badges until you get this ancient dust. But it's important to note that for the total badges, the ones that are better, the ones that give 2.5 and 2.8% times increases, those cost 100 ancient dust versus the just individual badges, which cost 10 ancient dust. Just to show what I mean, if I go here, this upgrade is only 10 ancient dust, so definitely a much cheaper purchase in terms of the ancient dust. All of them require 4 of the gold badges. That's pretty standard for how to combine badges. Always takes 4 to go to the next tier. I think that this is really interesting that it's so much more for the total badges. I'm assuming that it's going to be pretty hard to get this ancient dust. I'll also mention that I think that you should be careful before you just upgrade everything. As you can see, once you get a ancient badge, you actually can no longer dismantle it. So what I mean by that is that if I don't think they let me dismantle health badges. So let's look at, defense badge. If I go to dismantle a red badge, it says this badge cannot be dismantled. So you need to make sure you know what you're doing when you decide to combine that badge. You're not going to be able to get those gold badges back. So if you're someone like me that only has 4 gold infantry defense badges, before I want to go combine it, I need to make sure that I'm never going to want to use 4 individual gold badges, because if you think about it, I'm getting a lot more overall stats by using 4 gold infantry defense badges. That's 100% infantry defense versus just 150% badge. Of course it takes up less space, but if I don't have other things to replace those slots with, it may not be the best thing to get another red badge. Maybe it's better to keep them as just gold. So those are just some things to consider. Again, just make sure that you know what you're doing before you go upgrading all of your badges once you get your first batch of ancient dust. As just a general rule of thumb, if you ever have 3 spare badges, so like let's say I had 11 gold spear badges, that 3 extra beyond the 8 guarantees me that I'm safe to upgrade, because when I upgrade 4, I would have 7 gold badges left and 1 red badge, so I'd be able to cover all 8 of my slots. Just if anyone needs help with that math, that's kind of the math. Once you get 3 extras, then you can always upgrade and you're not losing anything. And for the total badges, it's a good deal to go ahead and upgrade once you have just 2 extra, because you're getting more than double the value by upgrading. So, if you had just 10 total attack gold badges, it would be worth it to go down to 6 gold badges and 1 red badge, and then your extra slot you can just throw in whatever you want. But that's going to be more total attack than if you just had the 8 gold badges. Hope that makes sense to everyone. I really think this is an exciting and fun change. I hope that you guys are excited to find out how to get this ancient dust. But definitely a big change in how we approach our badges and how important they are to the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, my name is TyrionLanstr. I'll see you then.